Hi, one second. Sorry, I will pause this for a moment till we start. Did.
Hi
Yeah.
everyone!
Hi.
Right, amazing to see so many of you on. Look at all these lovely faces, all these lovely people that want to hit lead. I love it. So Laura and I had a chat, and I just wondered, just quickly, how many of you managed to get onto Holly's call that she did? Did any of you manage to get onto that or not? Just pop that in the chat
Let
for
us know in the chat.
let us know. We decided to do this because obviously you've got this month and next month to run for an incredible incentive. And even if you don't hit it this month or next, this is a great opportunity just to give you a rundown basically of what lead looks like and ideally how some tips really to help you get there and to get working towards it because um, ideally, that's the next sort of step in terms of your business. So whether you're essential or whether you're certified, whether you are brand new, this call is for all of you. So, and if you're not brand new and you've been here a while, this could be what you need just to sort of start getting you moving.
Absolutely. And we just wanted to check, obviously, if you've been on Holly's call, that's absolutely fine. You know, you can never have too much training on this, but it looks like there weren't actually that many of you. Sarah, you said you were on, but we're not going to be duplicating things that Holly did. I mean, if we do, it's fine. Like we said, it's all good. Okay, can we just make sure, first of all, everybody is muted? Obviously, we'll have time for questions or anything at the end. I think everybody is now. There was just a couple that I didn't see. Okay, cool. But yeah, absolutely. And like Lisa said, some of you might be absolutely brand new and might even not really know what lead consultant is. And might be like, well, that is my rank, essential or certified, so I'm here. But we're just gonna go and break everything down, make it super simple for you, and give you some actionable steps to help you move towards that next step in your business.
Fab, right. I'm literally just pulling up. I thought it might be worth just having a little look at what lead consultant looks like. So just bear with me a minute, guys. I should have put this up, but
Right, okay. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just quickly read through some pointers about what the next kind of like 45 minutes an hour is going to look like. Just so you can kind of see the structure. So tonight we're going to go over what lead looks like. If you don't know, if you haven't looked that far ahead, we're going to talk about the compensation plan, why it's beneficial to grow a team. But it suddenly means, so you don't suddenly have loads more responsibility. It's just a fun part of being a sense consultant. Why the focus of 500 PRV is so important. And then obviously once you start hitting your 500 PRV, that's when you need to start having those joint conversations. So those are going to be like your focus points for this evening.
fabulous. Right, I'm just gonna pull up. Look, I don't actually know if I can share my screen because
Mm.
you hold on, let me see. It might let me. Let me see. Let's see if it'll do it. Can you see that?
Yes.
Ah,
Oh, and hi.
I didn't think that was gonna work. I was like,
Good.
amazing. Right, guys. So if you've not seen this before, right, basically, some of you are probably thinking, well, what does lead consultant mean? What does it mean? What does it mean all of a sudden to have this title lead? It's the next step on the compensation plan. So if you are essential at the moment, your first step is to get certified. That's the most important thing, which is 1,000 PRV in your life. It's a lifetime PRV. So that can be accumulated over 6 months, a year. You could do that in a month. But the most important thing is there has been a slight change in the compensation plan, which you need to be aware of. And it's the month that you hit certified. So if I put in 25 PRV today and suddenly hit my 1,000 lifetime PRV, I wouldn't actually certify until I was active. So that 250 PRV becomes really, really, really important. And that's probably like the starting point for all of you. That wants to be your first goal. That first goal every single month, no matter what, is aiming to get that 250 PRV, which is around £315 in orders, if you're not sure what that looks like, okay, as a whole. Um, Once you have hit certified, then you can look to build toward lead. Now, some of you may, if you are brand new, some of you could hit certified and lead in 1 month. It is very, very possible. We've seen it done many a times. I know lots of consultants that have hit certified lead and star even in
Yeah.
1 month. Um, But just so it gives you an overview of what it will look like, okay? To be able, this is what you would need, okay? As a lead consultant, you would need 500 PRV, which is about 630-ish pounds in orders. A little bit more than that, maybe now the peg rate has changed slightly. Or
But if
not.
you break that down, I was just working that out. That's 16 PRV a day. So that's like a couple of wax bars every day.
Three,
So
isn't it? Three wax bars, four
three,
wax.
yeah, 2, 3 wax bars. So when I know that 500 PRV initially, you might go, oh my God, that's way too much. I can never do that. But if you break it down into smaller, more I can't speak, smaller, more actionable goals, it doesn't seem quite so overwhelming.
Yeah, 100%. And then as a team, this number you're going to see is group wholesale volume, okay? GWV. You will hear that thrown about a lot, okay? But this number is 1,000, and it sounds a lot because it's actually 75% of you and any teamies that you end up having of your PRV put together. So it's not pound for pound. It's not PRV for PRV. So if I did 500 and my teamie did 500, I wouldn't hit lead because it's actually 75% of. Okay. So that's really important to know. It sounds confusing, but trust me, guys, as we go through this, it gets easier. And as you're actually doing it, you will understand it more. You
And
sometimes
also,
need to almost be at each level to understand it in the context.
absolutely, that's what I was just going to say. And then when you're on your workstation, once you've hit that level, it literally breaks it down for you. So it is that literally our workstation is the most user-friendly system. And once you reach each stage, it breaks the next one down for you. Katrina's just said about so doable. I had a teammate in July hit certified and lead in the same day.
Yeah, does
Very,
happen.
very possible.
And then also you would also need one active teamie. So we know that active is 250 PRV. If you have a teamie, for you to be able to hit lead, you could put in 2,000 PRV. But if you do not have that one teamie that's hit 250 PRV, you can't hit lead consultant. So here's what you will earn. Right, we'll talk about the hows in a moment, but here's what you will earn from you would earn from, oh my God, get my teeth in the same law. Here's what you would earn.
I love
You
what I
would
do.
get 25% on all of your PRV. You would get a 15% club referral PRV, which I'm not going to lie, I don't focus on this very much. That's
No,
not
me neither.
something that I focus on. You're going to get a 2% bonus on your product wholesale volume, which is a percentage of your PRV. And then you are also going to get an extra 5% monthly sales award if you was to hit the 2,500 PRV, which I will just say, if you aim for that 2,500, it sounds like a lot again, which is how Laura work it out in your daily PRV
I'm
for
doing
you.
it.
I think it's
I'm doing
about
it.
30 something PRV a day. Um, it basically will give you a paycheck, just 2,500 PRV a month would give you a paycheck of around £840 a month.
It's
Just that
83.
alone.
It is
Right.
83 PRV a day.
83. Okay.
But exact, if you're partying, getting your bra bag out, and you really, 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 really do want to go for that, like Lisa said, that is on its own, without any team members, without anything else, like that is another wage, isn't it? Like that is another job.
Yeah. I mean, I know that £800 a month to a lot of you guys would mean the world. I'm certain it would, like, it's life-changing sort of money,
It
right?
is. It's huge.
£800 a month. And even if you was to aim for that 500 PRV, if some of you haven't hit that yet, that 500 PRV is still a life-changing amount of money, guys. It's like, we're talking what, a couple of £100 a month. That's a lot of money, like in your pocket. And going for that lead consultant, the more team members that you have underneath you, you will earn a little bit of an extra bonus, that extra 2% on each team member that you have underneath you. So you're not taking any of their money. I know that's a question that gets asked a lot is,
Yeah.
well, I don't want to take any of their money. You won't, you don't. You get
No.
paid a bonus. That's all you've got to think of. That 2% is a bonus on top of what you earn. So it's just a little bit extra money in your pocket. So
There you
that's
go.
what the
Vicky's
that's
just
what
said
it is.
£800 will pay our mortgage.
Yeah, it will do. It's a huge amount of money, right? Huge amount of money. So the first thing really we want you to focus on while you're aiming for this is to get 500 PRV. And I honestly, if you're not hitting 500 PRV yet, That's your focus point, which more than likely is going to mean that you're going to need more customers, you're going to need to be partying or doing those type of activities to build that PRV up. And you can feel free to put in the chat if you hit 500 PRV, we'd love to hear. If you are not quite there yet, put that in the chat. We can share that. Pay my Scentsy products as well.
And this is why it's so important because within Scentsy, some of you may have been in other network marketing companies, and it's not a comparison game, but I have known people to come in Scentsy, and this is a conversation that I know we've both had to have over time. Is like people come in and they sponsor people, sponsor people, sponsor people, but they're not hitting that 500 PRV. And if you're not hit, I'm not saying it's like not great to sponsor people, it's wonderful. However, if you're not getting into the habit of hitting that 500 PRV, first of all, it's almost pointless because you're not actually starting to build your income, but also you're not showing your team how to do it. And when you become lead consultant, whether you've got one teammate or you've got 100 teammates, you are a leader. Whether you realize it or not, people are looking to you. They're watching what you're doing. And if you're not building these foundations, first of all, you're kind of doing it the wrong way around, basically.
Yeah. So before you think about, right, I want to get all the team members, this is that starting point. Your starting point is to give yourself the non-negotiable of your 500. If you're doing that consistently or you're doing that maybe every other month, then amazing. And the reason being, the biggest thing for that 500, if you do not do your 500, but you've got a team. So let's take me and Laura, for example, at Superstar Directors. If we didn't do 500 PRV, we have to put in a volume. So for lead consultant, it's 1,000, but as Superstar Directors, it's 80,000. Okay. That's a huge amount of GWV. That's 75% of all of our teams. And if we don't put 500 PRV in, we don't get paid on any of our
Any
team.
of it.
Not one person. You would only get paid on your own PRV. And it's exactly the same for you guys at lead, like going for lead consultant. That 500 becomes so important. And I see so many people on reports where I'm reaching out to them and saying, guys, like, oh, do you know that your team have hit lead figures or your team have hit star figures or superstar figures, but you've only put in 200 PRV, you're not going to get paid on your team a penny. So this is why we rave about this 500 and you must think, God, they don't stop going on about 500 PRV. Like, why? But this is the reason why you're leaving all that money on the table. You're giving Scentsy, like that's what's happening. Leaders are giving Scentsy all that money that their team have just done all the hard work. They've earned it.
And honestly, if you ever do it, like, don't beat yourself up
It
because
happens. It
we're
happens.
talking from experience here. Like I remember very early on, I was about to go on holiday and I thought I'd done my 500 PRV and I was on something like 496 or something. And my sponsor at the time, Kelly, she's not in the business anymore, but she messaged me. She's like, "You do know that like you're not gonna," and I was like, "Oh my God, no!" So I like pulled in another order before I went on holiday. But it's very easy done. You might think you've worked it out right, but just make sure it has to become a non-negotiable. Like it just has. It's just you just have to like if you want to grow.
Yeah. And I think the easiest way to do that, guys, is be looking at that PRV per day. But I will keep dying on this hill. Honestly, I swear it's going to be on my tombstone when I die. Okay. Finding new customers is the
Yeah.
motto. Like if you're struggling to hit that 500 now and you're setting that as a goal, or maybe you haven't set that as a goal yet and you think, right, I'm struggling to sort of get 300 PRV, go back to the basic. The basic will always be, and you're going to hear this so many times, is focus on finding new customers. If you set yourself a goal of 10 new customers every single month, which sounds a lot, but 10 new customers, write them down, have a list so that you know who they are every single month. You will never be looking for extra people. You will fill that 500 PRV very, very easily if you continually look for new customers. As soon as you stop looking for new customers, which so many people have done right now, and they're now struggling to fill that gap and they're scrambling for their 500 most months, it's because they're still trying to service customers that they maybe had 2 or 3 years ago. So we're giving you the best possible start by giving you the best possible advice, and that advice is find new customers always. That's your
Honestly, it is the absolute perfect time. Just this morning, I was walking my dog and I voice messaged Lisa, and a girl messaged me to order Scentsy. Her mum buys from me, but this particular girl, I vividly remember a few years ago bumping into her in the high street, and she was like, "Oh my God, I literally don't know who to buy Scentsy from. There's like so many people that I know that are doing Scentsy." Today, she sent me a message saying, "Can I please place an order for my mum? And can I also please place an order because I don't know anyone." that is doing Scentsy anymore. Like none of the people that were in her circle that she used to have to like choose to buy Scentsy from, none of
Yeah.
them are doing it anymore. So she's like, "Can I order from you?" I was like, "Yes, yes, you can." But what I'm saying is this: we are in a time right now that there are so many, like so many customers out there that used to buy Scentsy that their consultant has stopped, and they've got literally warmers in their house with no wax in them. Go
Yeah.
and find them and put some wax in their warmers. And then they will fall in love with the product all over again, and then they will become your customer.
We,
Honestly, there
yeah, and
is
we
so
will
many
also say,
things.
guys, it's not easy. Finding new customers is not easy. But if it was easy, everybody would be doing it, right?
Absolutely.
Everybody would be doing it in the world. And you've got to always have that in the forefront of your mind. Just have every day, what am I doing today to get a new customer? If you can get your mindset in that game, lead consultant will become an easy stepping stone for you. I promise you. I think people think that we say these things for the good of our health, but honestly, it's just a very simple business model and it doesn't need to be complicated.
And
So
Lisa's just hit on that word, and I promise I won't turn this totally into a mindset training because I could do that on its own. But that has to be your starting point. The first part of call before anything else in your Scentsy business or in your life is you have to decide that you can do it. If you're sitting there telling yourself, "Oh well, I can't do it because of this," or your mind literally believes what you tell it. So if you say to yourself, "I am going to be a lead consultant," over and over and over again, you'll start to believe it and then you will start to put in the actions to make it happen.
yeah,
So just like be honest, like because it's a skill like anything else. Let us know in the chat. You mean I'd like to think the answer's going to be yes for you all because you're all here on this Zoom. But let us know in the chat, like who 100% believes they're going to hit lead consultant in the next 2 months.
God believe it.
You've got to believe it.
It's coming. And also, these are the biggest months of the year, guys. These are the
Yeah.
busy months where it all goes really crazy. So let's just move into, as you're answering that, why? Like, why would you want to become a lead consultant? And apart from the obvious, like, okay, getting paid a little bit of extra money is always nice. But there's some real perks that come with it. At the moment, we've got an incentive running. You're going to get extra points towards going to Mexico. Okay, that you're at the bottom of the comp plan, which means you've got all those levels of ladder that you can climb, which means all those points are available to you. Okay, they're all available to you. That's the first thing. So there's an incentive running right now. So you're going to get paid a little bit more money. You're going to have this amazing incentive that you could possibly go to Mexico, which would be amazing, or even Idaho to our home office for Scentsy Family Reunion. You will also get some amazing recognition that goes with that. So there is, a little shout out. There's not many lead consultants being born in the company right now. So
No, there is
how
not.
nice it would be to have your name up there in lights. But then most importantly, here's the important bit. As you grow your own little team, you get to create your own little community. Like some of you love being in the community, in the groups. And I see names on here that I'm like, I recognize you guys. You're people that are contributors. You share pictures, you answer people's questions, you get involved, you turn up to team trainings. Imagine being able to do that with your own team, with a couple of people that are yours, that you then get to watch their journey. You get to say, oh my God, my teammate has just hit shooting star, or my teammate has just had a light bulb moment where she said, I can't believe that I've managed to do this. Because I tell you what, that is such an incredible, incredible thing. And that is something that you will get as being part of being a lead consultant.
Honestly, and just to totally reiterate everything Lisa said, when people before they've started to sponsor and they're like, firstly they say like, oh, I don't want to sponsor my best customers, and we're going to come on to that in a minute, but it's not when you shift your mindset onto imagine how amazing, all the amazing things that Lisa's just touched on that you get to experience as a Scentsy consultant. When you get to help other people experience those things, it is literally the best thing in the world. Honestly, it's amazing earning things yourself. It is. I'm not going to take anything away from that. It's totally okay to say, I love earning things. But when your team start to do it too, and it's you started to build like your own little community, it is
Very
literally the
special.
best thing in the world, honestly. And then, yeah, it just is.
And I've just seen Emma McCallian's name there, like come up. Emma has been on like multiple not I'm not like trips with us. Like she's always with us, and we're always like Emma. When we're gonna grow a team, like we're gonna have a team. And I think Emma, how amazing it'll be to take
Yeah.
your own team along to SFR and World Tour and have those experiences together. Like you've experienced those experiences very much with us, so to have that and more self belief, 100%. And it is very it's a really like it's a real circle, like a circle from when you get a team member that starts to do well, you feel good about it. It's not just even self-belief, it's actually a real like it actually feeds your soul as well as theirs, which I think is a really hard concept to get your head around because you're like, oh, I don't want to be selfish. It's not about me, it's about them. But it's also about both of you, and it's really fulfilling for you both. So
Honestly, if you and as well, we've both had people say this so many times over the years. They're like, "Oh, I can't sponsor because I don't know enough. I can't sponsor until X, Y, Z. I can't sponsor." When you become an independent Scentsy consultant, you can learn and grow together. Like I know I joined a little bit before Lisa, but I 100% didn't grow as a leader until Lisa joined. Because like Lisa just said, we learned together. Obviously, I already started to have a team, but I didn't know what I was doing. I've never led anybody before. I can barely lead myself some days. But what I'm saying is this. When Lisa joined, she would like ring. It was the first time really that I'd ever had that like bouncing off somebody. So she'd ring me and be like, "Oh my God, have you seen this YouTube training?" And she'd send me a link, and then I'd start me wash it. And we learned together. So don't feel like you have to know all the answers before you can sponsor anybody. You can sponsor from day one because
yeah,
everything's on your workstation, everything's in these groups, everything's in Scent Squad or Glitter Sparkle, and literally all the resources and tools are there. You're not, when you sponsor somebody, it's not your job to run your team's business for them.
mm,
Absolutely not. In fact, far from it. If you start off with those habits, imagine doing that when you've got 100 people. Like you're not there to do it for them. You're there to guide them and learn together. So don't feel like you can't sponsor like right from the beginning.
definitely. So coming into sponsoring, probably like some of you are probably now thinking, oh my God, I need to get my 500 before I even think about sponsoring. And that's not necessarily what we're saying, but we are saying if you're going to sponsor, you need to almost flip your mindset into, okay, I'm sponsoring now, so I've got to get my 500.
Yeah.
Not only that, if you sponsor one of your best customers, you're going to need to find new customers. That is a rule. Like my rule is for every customer I sponsor or every person I sponsor, I would like to find like 3 to 4 new customers for that person because especially if you're sponsoring your best customer might give you £150 in orders a month. So you've got to replace the £150 in orders. Okay, that could be 3 whiff boxes, or it could be that you've got to replace, I don't know, a whiff box, a scent of the month clubber, and their club order because their club order will roll up to them. So you've got to be thinking of these things, but it shouldn't scare you. You should see it as a challenge. You should see this as like, actually, I want to go out there and I want to give this a real go, and I can do it. Because if you can sell 200 PRV, you can sell 2000 PRV.
Absolutely.
Because and if you had been here 6 months and you hadn't sold anything at all and you were trying every day, I'd maybe say this might not be the call for you. But most of you, if not all of you, are here because you can sell 200 PRV a month, 250 a PRV a month. Okay, if you can do that, you can sell 2500. You just need to make the decision that you're going to do it and you're going to find all of those new customers. And then as you start to find those new customers, you just ask them if they want to join you on the journey. It literally is that simple. It doesn't need to be really, really complicated. How many of you have actually asked people to join your business? Or is there, be honest, the fear factor? Maybe you've asked one, maybe you've asked 2 of your customers, maybe you've asked none, maybe you've asked all of your customers. Give us a little rundown in the chat. A few, so a few. Ask lots. I have. Okay, so my question will be this:
I
if you
haven't
have
answered.
asked most of your customers, what do you need to do? If you've asked most of your customers, what do you need to do? And I'm just going to give you a clue. Lisa's dying on that hill.
I've asked a few, had one done last month. Well done.
What hill was I done? Oh, thank you, Claire. Find new ones, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you don't service the old ones because they don't want to join your team. Doesn't work like that. You keep servicing them and you keep enjoying them as being customers because you need customers. But then you find new people that you potentially can ask to join your team. Zoe, that is not true that no one
That is
likes
not
you.
true.
Not at all, my love. Not at all. If you can sell Scentsy, people like you. So let's
Absolutely.
not put ourselves down, okay? Let's not put ourselves
And
down.
exactly like Katrina said, note them down because even if it's a no, it's not a no forever.
Hmm.
You've literally just took the words out of my mouth, Katrina. Yeah, exactly. It's not a no forever. And I was just going to say someone else and he's literally gone out my brain. Carry on and it'll come back.
Karen. So it doesn't, sponsoring doesn't need to be complicated, guys. My favorite line is super simple. It is, have you ever considered doing this, doing what I do? Write that down. Have you ever considered doing what I do? It is going to be, or you would be amazing at this. Have you ever thought about doing it? What you're doing is you're asking, you're not saying, do you want to join my team, Laura? And Laura, if I ask Laura, do you want to join my team? She's likely to give me one of two answers. It's a closed question. She's likely to say yes or no. If I'm saying, Laura, have you ever considered doing this with me? She more than likely is going to give an answer that goes along the lines of this. Do you know what? I haven't ever thought about doing it. Or it will be, do you know what? I have thought about it. You have got two conversation starters there. The conversation starter is, no, I haven't thought about doing it. Well, why not? You'd be amazing at this. Or the conversation starter is, well, I know you thought about doing it. What stopped you?
Yeah, well, and then it opens it. I remember what I was going to say. I remember putting a post in my team group once and saying like, who would like a new teammate? And all these people were like, me. So when I reached out to them and messaged them and said, amazing, how many people have you asked this week? And most people said none or one. Or, but what you need to understand is one, not every person you ask is going to say yes straight away. Honestly, if you looked, Lisa and I always say this, if you ran our reports on Workstation and saw how many team members that were in our downlines that joined and didn't do anything, or joined and or maybe thought about joining for ages, and then like you need to understand that one, not everybody's going to say yes straight away, and you need to get like super comfortable like Lisa said, with the answers that she's just given, or it's not for me, or not right now. That's a good one, like Katrina said, because then you note them down, and that's not a no. But it's really, really important to understand if you've asked two people, you can't say, oh, I can't sponsor, because you can. You just need to build that as a habit into your business for asking.
Yeah, you just got to ask more people. You've got, I mean, I wish I had actually written down every
Oh, me
person
too.
that I'd ever asked to join because I imagine being able to share that with our teams, Law. Like, this is how many people we've ever asked to join, like, forever. We'd be like,
And
honestly, I
it
would
beats
love
the
to see that.
thousands. Like, yeah.
And then we go back to those people. Um, One of the things that I do want to touch on is about hitting these numbers. I'm just going to reshare the screen because, that there isn't really like a skill to asking people. Oh, look, there's Lou in your bikini.
Oh,
Look.
hi, me on the ship.
You're my screensaver. That's why, oh, look, there's Katrina there as well. You're my
Oh, I love it.
screensaver. That's
That's
why, guys.
Holly.
Let's just go bigger. Okay, so that was our incentive trip. But let's talk about this number, this 1,000, because it looks like quite a hairy, scary number. But I want to let you into a secret. And I always tell people this because this is how I did it. So I hit lead consultant in my third month, I think. I think my first month I joined was I had like 3 days in the month. My second month I certified, and my third month I hit lead. And I never forget that my third month, my paycheck for lead was £888. I will never forget that paycheck. It sticks with me, okay, as my first as lead. And the reason it was so big, though, it wasn't actually all to do with the fact that suddenly I had a team and my team were, helping me earn all this money. It wasn't anything to do with that. I actually did all the hard work myself. So if you was to do, for example, 500 is, it's a big task in itself that we're asking you. But if you was to do the hard work yourself and do the majority of this in terms of PRV, so 1,000 PRV times it by 1.3 is roughly about 1,300 PRV. If you was to do 1,300 PRV and you had one teamie that got active, you would hit lead consultant straight away. If you was to do 1,500 PRV and you had one active team member and they got bang on 250 PRV, you would hit lead consultant. The month that I hit lead consultant, I had something like 2,100 PRV. And the reason for that was because you got 2,000 was the old to get the 5% extra bonus. And the reason that I did that amount was because I had 4 parties in my first month. And I had a party each weekend that did around 400 PRV, roughly about £400 in orders each party roughly was. And then the rest was just me messaging people and doing I think I did mystery bags probably in my first month. And that was probably all my orders that I got. But here's the secret behind it. You don't need a team of like 20 to hit lead consultant that are all working, or a team of five, even a team of two, even. You only need one person to
Yeah.
get active if you're prepared to do the hard bit. And that is the hard bit, 1,300 PRV. It sounds like a lot. I think that's right on the maths. I think I've done the maths right.
Yeah, I think it is.
It sounds like a lot, guys. But if you do the hard work, you're then not relying on your team. And as you start to move into star consultant, superstar consultant, I've always said this to my team members. If you're doing that 500 and then you're relying on your team member to do, if you've only got one team member, it's going to mean that that team member's got to do probably 800 PRV if you stick to just doing your 500. So if you are going to be aiming for that 500, you're probably going to need more than one teammate. You're probably going to need two, maybe three, maybe four teamies. And that's me being like brutally honest so that you understand how
The
the maths
breakdown.
works of the comp plan.
But
And it's
also that,
important.
sorry, go
Go
on.
on.
No, I was going to say that word that Lisa just said there, and you know, the group that she put together this month, which has had some amazing speakers in, parties, okay? Home parties, wonderful, but there is a whole array of parties that you can do, as you will have learned as in this training group this month. That is where you're going to get your volume PRV and you are going to find new customers. Parties have your hostesses and then their networks, and then you down into their networks, and then you down, etc., etc., etc. So that is where your focus in these next 2 months needs to be is partying. It's why the party comeback group was set up. It's why we're having this big drive on party focus because it's about networking, and we are in the season of gift buying and where people are going to be open. I've got 3 stalls booked for Christmas. Amazing, Vicky. I advertise parties, but it's a no-show. How many people have you asked like one-to-one basis?
Personally, yeah, one to
Like
one.
it's not social media. Again, this is the hill that I will die on, right? I have a real like double-edged sword. I mean, if you went on my social media, you'll see me all over there. Like I am, people will probably, oh my God, there she is again. But that is not just how I work my business and not just how Lisa works her business or any leader or anyone you see that has any success in Scentsy. You almost have to imagine that if social media disappeared tomorrow, would you still have a business? Are you messaging people one to one? Are you connecting with people? Are you getting your borrow bag out? Are you having conversations when you're in person with people? Like, it's not just about advertising them and putting up a post and hoping and wishing that it's going to come to you. It's actually asking people, reaching out and asking people. And honestly, do it. Just get out partying in some way, shape, or form. WhatsApp, online, bingo, home parties, whatever it may be, because that is how you are going to network and find new customers and grow your PRV.
I will just say, guys, as well, if any of you have had months where you've hit your 500 or you've done 700 or 800 PRV since you've joined, go back and have a look at what you did in that month
Mm.
and look in your order history and look at, first of all, who was ordering. Second of all, what happened in that month? Did we have a sale? Did you do mystery bags? Did you do a fundraiser? Did you do, I don't know, did you happen to just sell loads of whiff boxes that month? And try to see if you can replicate what you did in those months. That's other things like when I'm really struggling and I'm thinking, God, like what did I do in that month? I go back and I just recycle old ideas and, look for those ideas that I can try to regenerate basically all over again and try to replicate those big months where things were big. Because, Laura and I have both had months where, we've done 5,000 PRV. And sometimes I think to myself, God, as I'm
What did
struggling
I
to
do?
get
Yeah.
2,500, I think, how did I do that? But in all honesty, it was just that I had a focus. I didn't have no days where I was like, oh, I'm not going to get any PRV today. Like I went on a mission to be like, I'm going to get this amount of PRV every single day and ticking it off and ticking it off and ticking it off and
And what
making
you,
it a focus.
yeah, and what you have to remember, guys, is and I will always say the sentence, I will never say it's easier or harder for anybody. It's easier for the people that put in the work, basically. But think about it this way. Um, we've been in for like 8 years and we are still finding new customers consistently because we have to. It's just the cycle of the business. But if you are brand new-ish, I don't mean brand new as in yesterday, but if you are newer, think about all the people that don't yet know that you're a Scentsy consultant. Think about all those networks and all those friendships and all those, if you've got a husband or a partner or a friend or a sister or a hairdresser or somebody that you can say like, can I lend you my borrow bag? Can I get my whiff bag out? Can you refer anybody to me? You literally, it almost like honestly, I almost think I'd love to start my business again Like, what would I do if I was starting from like brand new? And it would be partying, but it is it's exciting because you've got so much potential ahead of you. You've
Yeah.
got so much potential when it comes to promotions, like we said, with incentive points. There's so many people yet that you haven't told that you're a Scentsy consultant. Like, just tell everybody.
I
Like,
think as well, you've got to remember, like Laura said as well, about social media. Social media is the devil.
it is.
Okay. You almost need to work out how to work your business without it.
Yeah,
And if you can do that, if you can almost be like, okay, let's take Facebook and Instagram out of the equation. Obviously, you're still going to show up on it, but don't rely on that.
yeah,
Do make sure that all of your sales is coming from the work that you do behind the scenes with people, the one-to-one messaging. That is where the game changer will happen. Don't be afraid to be in people's inbox. You're offering a service. I talked about that on in the Party Comeback Club tonight about customer service. Like you've got to think, like JD Sports doesn't care if it's in your inbox 5 times a week. Marks and Spencer is in my inbox
no,
very, very frequently at the moment. So's ASOS and many other companies that I sign up to, and they are in my inbox offering me discounts, and they're in my inbox offering me, almost doing the follow-up. Booking.com, I've just been away on holiday and it's emailed me. I've already done a review and it's emailed me 5 times asking me for a review. So it's okay to be offering a service, okay?
absolutely. Like genuinely, if I looked, I was going to scroll and I didn't want to like, but if I went down my social media, I'm not like Lisa and I said, I know we said it might sound a bit contradictory to say that about social media, but if you actually scroll down my social media, none of that really has brought me like a sale. If that maybe the odd one or two people have commented and said like, can I order a wax bar? But that's not where my sales come from. That's where people are seeing us.
Yeah,
They're being reminded that we're a Scentsy consultant. We're coming up in their feed, where we're showing up in their algorithm. So they're like, oh, hang on a minute, they do Scentsy. So
yeah.
then, but the actual sales are from the relationship building. And actually, I mean, I will share this in a post, but I'll just tell you this quickly. So, and it's about building those relationships. So today I had somebody order a warmer, but that person came from, let me just talk it back. So when I was on holiday in America, I met a woman outside Starbucks, got chatting to her. We became friends on Facebook. I sent her a sample pack. She ordered from me in the sale. So then that was her. Then that was a relationship that had been started building. She then had a WhatsApp party. So then she obviously had added her friends in. I'm in Essex. She's in Manchester. Only a couple of people ordered on that WhatsApp party. It wasn't like a massively lucrative thing on that evening, but they've all added into my customer group and my WhatsApp group. And then today, somebody's ordered a warmer. That was probably about, well, I went on holiday in May. I had the WhatsApp party last month, and then that's led to a sale today. But that's from a WhatsApp conversation, not from posting on social media. So it's about the long game, and it's about understanding that it's about building relationships away from that. And if Facebook closed tomorrow
Could
or
you, yeah,
Instagram,
maintain it?
would you still have a business? And if
Zoe
the
just said that she handed out samples while shopping and no one joined. Do you know what, Zoe? My advice to you would have been, as you hand over the sample, you take their details at the same
yeah,
time. You don't walk away unless you don't give them a sample unless you've got a mobile number to follow up with. Simple as that. And that would be my advice for you. And I know that's probably going to extend your shopping trip. And if you're going to do that, just have those conversations. Be like, if in return for a sample, just pop your details into my Scentsy Connect. There's that little
absolutely.
QR code that we've got now, which it makes it really, really simple to do.
Carly's just said, girl in the same team as me, just got Shooting Star, doesn't have Facebook. I have got a teammate in Scotland. I don't think she's on here, but she just has no social media. No social media. She does over 1,000 PRV every single month from taking her bag out with her to work and to her kids' clubs and stuff. Yeah, exactly that. But I always remember a time I was in the zoo with Finlay. I've got a customer that still buys from me. She lives in Lincolnshire. She was on the cash desk in the gift shop. She was very, very personable, very chatty, and we were just chatting. And I said to her, I can't even think what I said, but we got talking about Scentsy, and I said, "Oh, let me." I think maybe I had something on me that said Scentsy, and I said, "Oh." Are you on social? And I added her there and then. I made sure I got her details. And if I'd have obviously had my QR code, I would have got her to
Yeah.
got
Or
her.
add them into your Facebook
Yeah,
group or anything like that. So, guys, I know we've gone a bit off tangent talking about sales and how you get your sales. Um, in terms of how this is going to work, what Laura and I sort of thought about was that we would catch up again with you all maybe towards the end of the month. But really, your focus should be lying around one of two things right now. The first is building that customer base to get that 500 PRV. If you're
Absolutely.
not already there, if you're teetering on the edge of that 500, pushing it up as much as you can, and then switching your focus into let's see if we can find some teamies. Let's see if we can find some teamies and let's start having some conversations and write down every single person that you ask to join, even if they say no. Like Katrina said, write their name down, write them down. Because sometimes I do message people and I say, "Oh, have you thought about joining?" And they're like, "Lisa, you've asked me twice." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm really sorry. I sort of forgot that I'd asked you." So write them all down, get a list of those people working, because not only will that list, it may well become a no for joining, but they might say, "Do you know what? I don't want to join right now, but I do need a 6 pack of wax." And it's
Yeah.
another avenue of follow up. Um, Ideally, what I would be doing if I was you guys in your shoes right now and I wanted to hit that incentive so that I get the extra bonus. So if you're not sure, if you hit it this month, you will get this month or next, you're going to get an extra £133 bonus in your pay. And then if you get paid at that title, which means you still hit that 500 PRV, one active frontline, 1000 GWV, the second month you get an extra £133 bonus in your pay. So you've got £266 up for grabs. Now, for me personally, if I was sitting in your shoes right now, guys, I would be hustling hard to push for that 500 and having lots of sponsoring conversations,
Yeah.
lots of join. If any of you have got teamies and you know that sometimes they put a little order in or not, I would be having a conversation with them and be like, look, do you want to work together to build our PRV? We could do 16 PRV a day and we can do it like accountability buddies. And if they don't want to do that, they don't want to do that. That's fine. You're going to have to find somebody new. Okay.
And that's a really good point there, is that if you do sponsor somebody and they don't do anything, do not take that personally. Do do you have to okay, I'll come back to that in a second, sorry. Um, do not take that personally. Do not think, oh well, I'm a rubbish sponsor. I'm just going to give up on sponsoring. If we had a pound for every person that we sponsored and that never did anything, I'd never have to sell another wax bar in my life. I could retire. Honestly, it is nothing to do with you. If you onboard people in exactly the same way, they have access to the same workstation, the same groups, the same resources, and they choose to not work, that is not on you. Go and find the next person that wants to work. It is nothing personal.
I think
And
that's like this. That's exactly the same with borough bags, parties.
yeah,
You are going to, in this business, have hurdles and no's every single day. I had no's today. No, I don't want any extra wax. Thanks very much, Lisa.
no,
Not right now, Lisa. If I took every single one of those, no, I don't want a party right now. No, I don't want a borough bag. No, you're all right, thank you. Or the complete ghosting or team members. Trust me, the amount of team members I message and they send me no message back. If
them.
I took every single thing of that like to heart, I would be rocking in a corner right now. I certainly wouldn't be on this call like
Absolutely.
with you. I literally would be rocking in a corner.
But
Okay.
I don't think I've ever really thought about it in those volumes, but it is so true actually. When people say like, "Oh, I've spoke to people, nobody's got back to me," yeah, literally, we get ignored all the time, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, but think about it. If we send out like a group email, or we'll send something out on WhatsApp, like, and there's 70 people on there, we might get two replies. Like seriously, and
Yeah, look, we send emails. I send emails to 800 people at once.
yeah.
I'm lucky if one person replies most
Yeah,
of the time. And I'm
and
like,
that
wow.
it's because life is busy. Okay, so what you need to understand is if you want to grow in the Scentsy business, because you are an entrepreneur right now, you're a business owner. It's just part of it. It's just a skill. It's a tool, and we fully understand if you are new to this, it is something that is going to evolve over time. But do not take stuff personally. Honestly, it's that whole thing about exactly like Katrina's just said. Like, don't make it about you in a way. Like what's the word? Like I can't even think of the term that I'm thinking, but it's not about you. If somebody doesn't
You've
reply,
got to grow a thick skin to it, haven't
yeah,
you?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And it's probably the biggest stumbling block for a lot of new people
yeah.
where they're then hard on themselves because it's like no one's replying, I'm not getting orders, my borough bags come back empty, no one wants to party with me. And actually it's a very you're almost talking yourself into such a negative hole
Yeah.
that you've just got to be like, oh, they didn't want that right now, not a problem, I'm moving on to the
On
next,
to the
move on
next.
to the next
I'll just show
person,
you, right?
find somebody new, start talking to people like. And I think it's it's a skill, and it gets easier, but you can't let it derail you at the beginning. You really can't. And you can't let it derail you even once you get a team and they don't do anything. I wish people understood that more. I
I'm just
really
going
do.
to show you, okay? And obviously, I'm not going to show you their mobile numbers because these are my customers. But three people today, because I know, I was just thinking actually, like when you just said about this happens today, this person is one of my neighbours. She said she was going to have a party. She's actually come back and said, I'm not going to have a party because she's got some personal stuff going on. I could have been like, oh no, well, but it's fine because she's going to come to mind that I've decided I'm going to have myself, that I decided this afternoon. Somebody else is my customer. She ordered bulbs. I asked her if she wanted a Christmas sample pack. Thanks, hon, but no thanks, not at the moment. Okay, no worries. And then somebody else that is literally a regular customer, and I don't think I've ever messaged her and she's not ordered, said no today. And I was like, okay, I moved on to the next one. You cannot take things personally. You have to understand it happens to everybody. And then they might come back in 2 weeks and go, actually, I need that flower now, or I need that six pack of wax. Just don't disappear. And don't not follow up with them again because they've said no once.
So I suppose in a way you've got two really lists that you need to make, a customer list and a potential team member list, and keep building them both. And that's what I would be working on for the rest of the month. And I really, really hope that at the end of the month we will do this call again. And hopefully we're going to be checking in with you guys, and you're going to say, these are all the things that I did. These are all the things that I tried. Some of you will probably say to us, none of it was successful. It happened, right? It is very, very, very likely. It's not always going to happen overnight. Some of you are going to come in and be like, I can't believe it. I've got Teamy. Like, I can't believe it. And some of you are going to, might even be coming in at the end of the month and saying, Lisa, Laura, I can't believe it. I've hit lead. It's happened. And everybody's business is, and this is the most important thing, will grow at a different rate. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes with different people, how hard people are working. I put a post on today, a reel, about a lot of people make a lot of judgment based on me. And I think sometimes there's a lot of judgment because, and same with Laura, because we find success. But what
Mm.
people don't see is the fact that we're on trainings at 8 o'clock at night regularly every single month, twice a month, throughout the whole 8 years that we've been consultants, that we've both been on the phone to each other at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night, sometimes still packing orders,
Yeah.
or running reports and seeing people in that are promoted at the end. There's a lot of hard work that goes on behind the scenes, but everybody's business flourishes at different times. Everybody grows at different rates, and that's okay.
But what? Oh God, sorry. Someone at my front. Sorry, and Dan's upstairs with him. Can you all right if I jump
At your
off?
front door?
At the front door, yeah.
What, 10 to 9?
Yeah, I know, so I better get it. One sec.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I will carry on. So, it's okay that people's business that flourishes at different times. Just don't compare yourself, guys, because that's the hardest thing. You start seeing other people do well, and you think, there must be something wrong with me because my business isn't moving as fast as theirs. It's
Not
just
that
not your time. It's just not your time yet. You've just got a little bit more growth
Sorry.
to do. That's what you've got to
Not.
remember.
She forgot. Okay, right. But what I was just going to say was exactly that. What Lisa just talked about the work that goes into building. If you come off this call tonight and don't implement anything, nothing's going to change. Like
Yeah.
that is just the facts. What you've done to this point has got you to where you are, and you've all shown up this evening, which is wonderful because you've invested time into yourselves. But it's that whole thing of, isn't it, of like nothing changes if nothing changes. If you don't change something that you're doing in your business, have a few more conversations, ask a few more people, believe in yourself a little bit more, take a little bit more action, start making some lists. Like, be honest again. If we're here to give you tools and skills to grow your business. How many of you write an actionable list every day of things that you're going to do in your Scentsy business? Like, tell us the truth in the comments. Because if you don't, that's cool. But like, we're here to say, like, if you start doing that, it will make you do things in your business. Because all these years in, if I didn't write a list every day, do you know what would happen? Absolutely nothing, probably, because I would literally wander around my house, put some washing away, do this, answer the phone. Yeah,
A little list every day is a game changer, guys. Just even like
it
five or
is.
six little things.
It is. Just not just for Scentsy, just for like life in general. Nothing would happen. My children wouldn't get fed, clothes wouldn't get washed, all these things. But,
Same, Claire. I have to do it because otherwise I'll forget.
but in all sincerity, make it habit, like literally make it a habit when you get up in the morning, even if it's 3 to 5 things that you're going to do in your Scentsy business. If you do that every day when you get up and say, right, I'm going to ask five new people to join. I'm going to offer whatever it may be. But as long as they're actionable tasks that are going to grow your business, then you look at them and go, actually, I better do that. I haven't done that. And it will make you accountable
Yeah.
every day, but a
It
couple
will.
of times a week. I promise you, like Lisa started doing this recently with the stickers from, oh my God, what's her name?
Katie Laster.
Katie Laster. It is an absolute game changer. We promise. We're not just saying this.
Yeah. I didn't do them today, but I've had a bad day. I've not been feeling well myself today. The last thing really we wanted to leave you with as we wrap up, because I'm conscious that we've been on here for an hour, is really that every single one of you can do this. Every single person on here can be a lead consultant. And I promise you, you need to enjoy the journey and you need to
Yeah.
make sure it stays fun. And that's the most important thing is don't put so much pressure on yourself, guys, that you end up not enjoying it. And then you're like, I just don't want to do this anymore because it's like Lisa and Laura have told me all these things I've got to do and I can't cope. Literally take what works for you, action something, focus just on that 500 and asking people to join your team. And I promise you, just enjoy it. You've got to enjoy it. And that's the most important thing with all of this is you've got to have fun with it. And you've got to show people that you're having fun because when you show people that you're having fun and that you're building your confidence and it's changing who you are and all the things it's doing for you, all the things that you're loving, that is when you will attract your people. Your people will come and find you because and that's where social media is a blessing
Yes.
because I think what I was getting at, yeah, social media is a blessing in that respect that you can show people without saying, do you want to come and join my team? You can show people, look what I love. I love doing this. I love making samples. I love delivering my orders. I love getting my Scentsy orders and smelling all the wax and showing people all my favorites, like,
Literally attracting, that it is attracting people in. And don't, like Lisa's just said, like not to highlight that comment that you said, but you haven't felt yourself 100% today, but you've still shown up. You're here training now at 8 o'clock. And if you wait till you're always motivated, guys, you won't ever do anything. It's when you take the small, we're not suggesting that you're gonna like change the world every single day and but if you do think a few small things consistently, even when you don't feel like it, that's when the change starts to happen. Because when you then start to do the things, the motivation then comes afterwards. Because you'll even, I'll find it, I'll put it in the group afterwards. But there's quite a famous quote.
basically motivation comes after action. It doesn't come
Yeah,
before.
it doesn't
Like
come
that is
before.
the real.
Exactly.
And a lot of people go, I've lost my mojo. I've lost
Oh
my
my God.
mojo. And I'm like, your mojo will come when you start taking
Yeah,
action. And
absolutely.
it's really, really hard work to do that some days. And there are going to be days where you just need to draw a line under the day and start again the next day. As long as you start again the next day, that's all that matters. And you know, every single one of you can do it. And probably the biggest takeaway really for you from this is setting yourself goals
Yeah.
because I think there's a lot of consultants out there that don't set themselves any goals at all. Or they will say, "Oh, I'm aiming for 250 PRV," and I say, "Okay, well, how are we getting to that goal?" Oh, I don't know. I've just
Yeah.
set myself a number, and it's like you need to have a bit of an action plan of how you're going to get there. And if honestly you're saying, "I'm going to do 500 PRV," but I don't know how I'm going to get there, and I don't know what I need to do, and I don't know who I'm contacting, then there's your starting point. Like that is your starting point. So have a little bit more of a plan in place. That makes it a business. And that's what being a lead consultant, suddenly we're going from taking it from being a hobby to taking it to being a business. When you're starting to make a plan, set goals, give yourself a little bit of a list to do. And that's when it can become a business. And I promise you, if it becomes a business, you're going to absolutely love it. Just having the community. And not only that, Laura and I used to run. We haven't done them for a while, but possibly it'll be something we'll pick up in the new year. She doesn't know this yet, but I'm telling her now. And I know she'll just go,
Story of
yes.
my life.
We,
I'm just like, it's
we,
okay, just tell me.
we used to run once a month calls for lead consultant and above.
Mm.
And that's something that I've been like, really would love to get back into that. But so if, that's just another perk that you guys get access to an extra little call with me and Laura once a month. Obviously, you love a bit of extra Laura and Lisa time.
But yeah, it is. And it's, Carrie said it's the drive that's stopping me. Message me. I mean, you can write it in the comments if you want, but feel free to message me anytime about that. But just understand that you are capable, okay? We have given you lots of tools and lots of tips tonight about understanding about how to go and do it. But it starts with you and it starts with believing that you can. So you need to understand that you absolutely, oh, the drive, sorry, I thought you meant driving to Brentwood. I thought you meant the drive within
The
yourself.
drive in you, that's what I
I
thought you meant as
know.
well. Yeah.
you are absolutely capable of doing this. Nobody, like everybody that is has success in Scentsy started with all the same tools and kit. You absolutely can do this. It's not, like we always say, it's never an easy business model, but it is super, super simple. Like we've seen a lot of compensation plans, a lot of businesses in the network marketing space, and Sentsy's comp plan is simple. If
Yeah.
you can get 500 PRV, ask people if they'd like to come on this journey with you and help them to put PRV through the system. Like if you strip everything else back, that is it. Put PRV through the system, ask people if they'd like to do it with you, show them how to put or help them to put PRV through the system. That's
It
it.
is that complicated. That is literally it in a nutshell. So,
So before we go, because we've got 5 minutes left, I'm just on a call before anybody runs in. Hello. I didn't know who that was. Look at that. He's brought me a cup of tea.
very nice.
Um, yeah, before we go, has anybody got any questions, any burning questions that like can't wait that you can ask us later or in our chats or tomorrow? If there's anything any of you would like to know or anything that we've mentioned that you don't understand, because sometimes we understand we can use lingo that we just like blah, 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 and then you might be like, what are they talking about?
Guys, also, if you want that lead consultant document that I shared, if you go onto your workstation, there's also loads of stuff in your workstation
Loads.
that you get to lead. There's like lessons that you can do and stuff that you can work through. If you go to training and you go to, hold on, I will give you the actual pathway for it. Training, and then click on success paths. You can literally download the certified consultant's success path and the lead. I would literally go through both of those if you haven't already. Go through those because there's things on there that that will
There's,
help you.
there is a whole like gold mine. I nearly said minefield, gold
You
mine.
need to click on compensation plan. That was what I was getting at. Click on that and it will come up. That document will come up. You can print it off, use it as like a tick sheet, really, I suppose. There is a whole wealth of information on there.
So much. Um, okay, guys. Well, it is nearly 9 o'clock. We have kept you for an hour. Oh my God, I can't speak. Thank you for being here. Thank you for investing in yourself because that's where it starts, is investing the time in yourself.
We
Um,
have got we have got powwow on Thursday, so we
we
will be
have,
back on
we will be
Thursday.
back.
We hope that you will all join us on Thursday if you can. We hope.
But
So
just, can I ask about insurance for stores and markets? What
liability first is what you
liability
want to go to.
first.
Public liability.
They're based in Southend and they literally have a tab that says Sensei Consult.
You just click on it. Yeah.
So yeah, we will love you and leave you. But yeah, just we are absolutely cheering you on. Honestly, we are no different to anybody else that started this business. We've just done it a little bit longer. But we were literally in your seat where you are now. So yeah, we just want everyone to win. Everyone's a winner, right? We'd love it when we see you winning. So we'll see you on Powwow on Thursday, and hopefully we'll see lots of you hitting your 500, sponsoring and hitting lead. Anything you want to add on, Lise, to finish?
No, that's lovely. Katrina, I thought you were hiding in your you're hiding in your bathroom.
Oh, you covered.
We just sitting in the toilet, like, hello. Sorry, Katrina. Anyway,
Oh,
no, guys.
I'm not in the toilet, Lisa.
I thought you was in the toilet. Sorry. I
Yeah,
thought
I'm in my kitchen.
oh,
I'm
before we
trying to
do,
check in for Milan, and I needed some light.
before we finish, and obviously I will share this recording. Is there anything, Katrina? Obviously, you are a director in the business, and thank you for being on, and obviously, giving some input and interacting. But is there anything that you'd like to add, before I end this and share the
The
recording?
only thing I would say is, and I'm still guilty of it myself, and I have to give myself a little kick, is don't decide for people. Do not decide who may or may not want to join. Okay. So tonight was a fine example. I've got a little group with some of my team who are supporting to lead, and I've shared in there already. So sorry, guys, you've already heard this. But tonight I decided I was asking 5 people to join, and there was one girl who I hovered over and I was like, oh, no, I won't ask her. She won't want to. And then I went back and I was like, no, I will ask her. And she was the first one to reply saying, I have actually been thinking about it. And there are some people in my team who luckily did come to me and ask me if they could join. But both of them I would have never have asked in a million years a few years ago. When they asked me, I would have not asked them. I had decided they were teachers, they were successful, they had a busy life, and they did not want to do Scentsy. So do not decide who
Yeah.
does and doesn't want to do it. Just ask them
Okay.
because you don't know who wants to do it.
I think that's really, really important for everybody that's like on their way to lead consultant as well, because it's very easy at the beginning to, I think I even do it now. I think everybody does it.
Yeah,
It's
I'm still
human
I
nature.
still do it. I have to be really conscious of it and be like, no,
Just
they
ask.
they can decide if they want to.
Yeah, love that.
Amazing. All right, guys.
Thanks,
Well, thank
Karina.
you so much. Yeah, we're just cheering you on your race to lead. Okay, I will share the recording. Thank you so much, guys. We will see you soon.
All right, bye.
Bye.